The calm of Heartland has always been deceptive. Just when the land feels safest, when the horses breathe easy and the family believes they have survived the worst, fate finds a new way to test them. Season 20 opens with a truth no one is ready to face. The greatest threat to Heartland Ranch is no longer the weather, money, or outsiders. It is the secrets buried deep within its own legacy. What was once protected by love and silence is now rising to the surface, and once revealed, nothing will ever be the same again. Heartland Ranch wakes up to another ordinary morning, but the air feels different. The sun rises over familiar fields, yet the warmth fails to calm the unease spreading through the family. Amy stands alone near the pasture, watching the horses move with a restlessness she cannot ignore. She knows this feeling well. It is the same warning she felt before every major turning point in her life. Heartland is steady on the outside, but something underneath is shifting, and it refuses to stay hidden any longer. Every sound feels louder, every decision heavier, as if the land itself is holding its breath. Life on the ranch continues as it always has. Horses need training, repairs need attention, and the family works together like a well-practiced rhythm. But behind the routine, cracks begin to show. Quiet conversations stop when someone enters the room. Phone calls end abruptly. Even longtime friends seem hesitant, choosing their words carefully. Rumors move faster than the wind across the fields, whispering about money troubles, ownership questions, and deals that were never meant to resurface. Heartland has always been a symbol of strength in the community, but now that symbol is being tested. Amy feels the weight of leadership pressing harder than ever. She loves this land with everything she has, but love alone cannot protect it anymore. She finds herself questioning choices she once believed were right. Was holding on always the best option? Did protecting the past prevent them from preparing for the future? Each question leads to another, and the answers refuse to come easily. The responsibility no longer belongs only to her. Every choice she makes will affect her family, her children, and the future of Heartland itself. Ty senses the tension even when no one speaks about it. He has always been the steady force, the one who finds solutions when others feel overwhelmed. But now, even he feels unsure. Opportunities begin to appear from unexpected places, tempting and dangerous at the same time. Old dreams resurface, mixed with doubts he thought he had buried long ago. His loyalty to Heartland has never wavered, yet the pressure to adapt grows stronger with each passing day. Standing still no longer feels like an option. The children notice the change too. Their questions become sharper, their curiosity deeper. They no longer accept simple answers, and their growing awareness forces Amy and Ty to confront truths they have avoided. Heartland is no longer just a home. It is a responsibility that will soon belong to the next generation. Teaching them how to ride horses and care for the land is easy. Teaching them how to face loss, sacrifice, and difficult choices is something else entirely. As evening falls, the family gathers, sharing a quiet meal filled with unspoken thoughts. Laughter feels forced, smiles linger too long, and silence carries more meaning than words. Outside, the ranch stands strong, just as it always has. But inside the walls of Heartland, something has changed. A past decision, once hidden for the sake of peace, is slowly making its way back into the present. And when it finally surfaces, it will demand answers no one is prepared to give. Season 20 begins not with chaos, but with calm that feels fragile. Because at Heartland, the most powerful storms never arrive without warning. They build quietly, patiently, waiting for the perfect moment to break. The morning sun casts long shadows across Heartland Ranch, but the warmth cannot reach the corners where secrets hide. Amy moves through the barn, checking the stalls, but her mind is elsewhere. There's a letter tucked away in her desk drawer, one she swore she'd never read again. Yet something in the air tells her it's time. Her hands tremble slightly as she pulls it out. The paper is worn, the ink faded, yet the message is as sharp as the day it was written. It speaks of promises broken, of debts long ignored, and of choices made to protect the family that may now threaten everything they hold dear. Reading it, Amy feels a chill that no morning sun can shake. Ty notices her unease immediately. He's learned to read her expressions like a second language, to sense when something is wrong even when no words are spoken. "Amy," he says softly, placing a hand on her shoulder. She flinches at the touch, not from rejection, but from the weight of the secret she carries. Ty's steady eyes meet hers, silently asking what she knows, what she fears. Amy shakes her head, unsure where to begin. Secrets, she realizes, are never just words on paper. They are shadows that creep into every corner of the home, touching everyone, shaping every decision, whether they are aware of it or not. Outside, the horses graze, unaware of the tension building inside the farmhouse. Their quiet presence is a reminder of why the Bordens fight so hard to keep Heartland alive. The ranch is more than land, it is a sanctuary of life, history, and hope. Yet, as Amy reads further into the letter, the past refuses to remain quiet. Names she thought forgotten, promises made decades ago, and decisions she did not fully understand now threaten to unravel the family's carefully built world. One by one, the consequences begin to appear. Not in dramatic storms, but in subtle shifts. A delayed shipment of feed, a horse acting unpredictably, a neighbor arriving with unexpected news. Jack and Lou notice the tension in ways only children can. Jack's brow furrows as he questions why certain repairs are being postponed, why Ty seems distant, why Amy no longer smiles as easily as she once did. His questions are innocent, but they strike at the heart of the family's hidden struggles. Lou, ever spirited, senses restrictions where none should exist. Her playful defiance, meant to test boundaries, now feels like a challenge to the invisible walls erected by secrets. The children's growing awareness adds urgency. Decisions cannot be postponed any longer, because even the smallest slip can change their understanding of home, family, and legacy. News from the outside world begins to intrude as well. The town, once a place of familiar faces and predictable routines, whispers with rumors of investors, potential land deals, and the subtle threat of change. People who once offered friendship now carry motives hidden behind polite smiles. Amy and Ty must decide whom to trust, whom to confront, and when to stand silent. Every conversation is weighted, every interaction a test. The pressure grows heavier with each passing day, and even the routine chores on the ranch feel like a battle against unseen forces. A delay in fixing a fence becomes a metaphor for the vulnerabilities surfacing within the family, small cracks that could widen if ignored. Amidst this growing tension, old friends arrive at the ranch unexpectedly. Their visits bring joy and nostalgia, but also friction. Words left unsaid in the past now surface. Disagreements once buried find light, and old rivalries subtly threaten the harmony the family has fought to preserve. Amy listens carefully, measuring each word, while Ty calculates the implications of every conversation. What was once friendship now carries risk. What was once simple loyalty now demands scrutiny. Even laughter cannot mask the sense that the past is no longer dormant. As night falls, the ranch settles into a deceptive calm. Stars shine brightly above the fields, but shadows linger in the corners of every room, every hallway, every stable. Amy stands at the edge of the pasture once more, letter in hand, feeling the enormity of the storm approaching. Ty joins her silently, understanding that this is a moment of reckoning. The ranch itself seems to hold its breath, aware of the delicate balance between survival and upheaval. Tomorrow promises challenges unlike any they have faced. Decisions must be made, alliances reevaluated, and courage summoned in ways that test not just their love for Heartland, but their understanding of family, trust, and responsibility. The first real tremor comes with the arrival of a stranger, a figure from outside the familiar world of the ranch. No one knows their intentions, and their presence stirs curiosity, suspicion, and fear. The stranger walks with confidence, observing the land, the horses, the routines. Even the animals react, sensing a shift in energy, a tension invisible to the eye. Amy and Ty exchange a look that speaks volumes. The balance of Heartland is shifting, and the choices made in the next days will shape the future of the ranch forever. Secrets will no longer remain hidden. The past has begun to demand its reckoning. In the quiet moments before dawn, Amy writes in her journal, documenting the sense of foreboding that has settled over the family. She knows that Heartland is more than a home. It is a legacy built on resilience, love, and unyielding determination. And yet, she cannot ignore the truth. Resilience alone may not be enough this time. Something new has entered their world, something that will test every bond, every decision, and every ounce of courage the Bordens possess. Season 20 is not about survival alone. It is about revelation, confrontation, and the relentless pursuit of preserving what is most sacred, family and Heartland itself. A week has passed since the letter surfaced, but its impact is only beginning to unfold. The calm routine of Heartland Ranch is fractured. Each day brings new complications. Small at first, missed deliveries, a horse acting skittish, a neighbor asking questions that seem too pointed. But beneath these minor disruptions lies a current of tension growing stronger with every sunrise. The Bordens feel it in their bones. The world they thought familiar is changing, and nothing will remain the same. Amy struggles to hold herself together. Every decision feels heavier than the last, each one rippling outward like a stone thrown into the water. She remembers storms past, moments when the land itself seemed against her, when financial crises threatened to topple everything she had fought for. But this season is different. Now, it is not just the ranch she must protect. It is the family's trust in each other, the fragile network of relationships that have kept Heartland alive. One misstep, one misjudgment, could undo decades of hard work and love. Ty senses the same tension but carries it differently. He moves with careful thought, weighing every choice, calculating every possible consequence. He has always been the steady hand, the anchor in times of chaos. But as whispers of investors, legal obligations, and old promises surface, even his balance is tested. His instinct tells him to act, to protect, yet he is cautious. The ranch has weathered storms, and Ty knows that impatience can be as destructive as inaction. Jack and Lou have begun to notice more than ever. Jack, with his keen curiosity and a mind that questions everything, sees the unease in Amy's eyes and the strain in Ty's movements. He asks questions no child should have to ask, about choices and consequences, about why adults sometimes act in ways that feel confusing. Lou, spirited and determined, tests boundaries like she always has. But now her defiance has weight. Her experiments, her ideas, her challenges to tradition, they force the family to confront issues they may have been avoiding. The next generation of Bordens is no longer a passive part of Heartland. They are actively shaping it, demanding answers and action. Complications arrive from outside the family as well. A local banker visits unexpectedly, hinting at financial restructuring. An old friend from Ty's past arrives with warnings and subtle pressures. Even the neighbors, once trusted allies, seem more cautious, their smiles hiding intentions that may not align with the Bordens. Every interaction carries layers of meaning. Conversations that once would have been ordinary now feel like negotiations, testing loyalty, trust, and judgment. Amy and Ty must navigate these waters carefully, balancing openness with vigilance. Amidst these pressures, the stranger remains at the ranch. Their purpose is unclear, their presence unsettling. They watch, they listen, they ask questions that seem simple but carry hidden implications. Even the horses respond to this energy, their nervousness a mirror of the household's growing tension. Amy studies the stranger, aware that appearances can be deceptive. Ty remains protective, watching not just the land but the people around it, aware that Heartland's future may hinge on interpreting every subtle clue correctly. Meanwhile, unresolved issues from the past continue to rise. The letter Amy discovered is only the beginning. Forgotten agreements, old debts, and unspoken promises start to demand attention. Each revelation brings choices: to confront, to forgive, to negotiate, or to protect. The Bordens realize that their history is not just a foundation, it is a living part of their present, capable of shaping events in ways they never anticipated. Decisions made in haste could have consequences stretching far beyond the ranch. Tensions within the family also escalate. Amy and Ty's partnership is tested in new ways. Where once decisions were shared seamlessly, now disagreements surface, rooted not in mistrust, but in differing perspectives. Amy sees the urgency, the need to act quickly to protect Heartland and the family's legacy. Ty considers long-term implications, weighing risks against rewards. Both are right, yet both are challenged by the weight of unseen forces pressing against them. Their love remains strong, but even the strongest bonds are tested when stakes are this high. Jack discovers an old journal in the barn hidden behind beams, a relic from someone long gone. The entries are cryptic at first, referencing alliances, secrets, and warnings never shared. He brings it to Amy, hoping for guidance, but even she struggles to interpret the cryptic messages. The journal is a puzzle, a key to understanding the shadows of Heartland's past, yet it is filled with ambiguities that could mislead just as easily as they could reveal truth. Every word carries weight, every sentence demands attention, and the family realizes that history is never truly gone. It waits, shaping decisions silently until it surfaces. Lou, sensing the urgency, begins proposing solutions, some bold, some reckless. Her energy and ideas bring tension as much as they bring hope. The family is forced to confront the reality that the future of Heartland cannot rely solely on the experience of Amy and Ty. The next generation must be heard, must contribute, and must face challenges themselves. Growth requires risk, and mistakes now have higher stakes. The tension reaches a turning point when a storm, literal and metaphorical, strikes the ranch. Heavy rains flood the fields, threatening crops and animals. Equipment fails at critical moments. Horses panic under the rising chaos. Yet, amid the chaos, Amy, Ty, Jack, and Lou work together with the team to protect the land and the animals. Every action is a test of resilience, every decision a lesson in trust and teamwork. They realize that Heartland is more than a ranch. It is a crucible, shaping not only the land, but the character of everyone who calls it home. By the end of this turbulent week, the family sits together, exhausted but unbroken. The storms outside subside, but the tension inside lingers. The stranger remains, now quietly observing, a reminder that challenges are far from over. Old secrets are emerging, and new questions demand answers. The Bordens know that the calm is temporary. Season 20 is revealing itself not in isolated crises, but as a continuous wave of revelations, tests, and choices that will define not just the ranch, but the family for years to come. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, and Heartland will demand more from every member of the family than it ever has before. Every relationship, every decision, every ounce of courage will be tested, and the shadows of the past promise that nothing, no comfort, no routine, no certainty will ever be taken for granted again. The calm that had briefly returned to Heartland Ranch is shattered in the early hours of the morning. The wind carries a chill that has nothing to do with the season. It is the weight of truths finally clawing their way to the surface. Amy wakes before sunrise, uneasy in a way that keeps her restless. She moves quietly through the farmhouse, careful not to wake Ty or the children, yet every creak of the floorboards reminds her that the past is no longer willing to stay buried. She remembers the letter, the journal Jack found, and the subtle hints of betrayal that had been whispered in the town long ago. Heartland is no longer just a home. It is a crossroads where every choice has the potential to fracture what has been built over generations. Ty joins her at the kitchen table, rubbing sleep from his eyes. He senses the tension, but knows it is deeper than ordinary worry. Something is coming, and it is larger than storms, finances, or even outsiders. He has always been the protector, the steady presence, but this time he feels the weight of unseen forces pressing from every side. There is no clear enemy, only the growing understanding that the foundations of Heartland are being challenged from within. Every ally may have an agenda. Every friend may hold a secret. Even family members may carry hidden fears and doubts. Outside, the ranch is alive with restless energy. Horses paw nervously at the ground, sensing change in the air. The barns creak as if whispering warnings, and the wind carries an eerie quiet over the pastures. Jack watches the horizon from the fence, notebook in hand, recording every detail. He understands more than most realize, aware that Heartland's legacy depends on attentiveness, observation, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. Lou is restless as well, her boundless energy now tinged with a seriousness that reflects the family's growing unease. Her questions are relentless, her insights piercing through the usual calm, demanding clarity from adults who wish for answers themselves. Then, the first real confrontation arrives. An old family friend, someone once trusted beyond question, returns with news that shakes the Bordens to their core. A promise, long thought kept, has been broken.